Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Ticket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop. Until you get your mouth off LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, you guys. So salute everybody for tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all already know what it is. And let's get into this video, you guys. Right? So, if y'all can hear me, press 1 in the comment section. If you guys can hear me, I got a mic check. Press 1 if y'all can hear me in the comment section. I got a mic check. Can y'all hear me? Appreciate y'all. Y'all let me. Okay, y'all can hear me? I bet. So it's all come down to this. It's all come down to this. And salute to everybody that's in the building again, man. Make sure that all of you guys that are in the building, that y'all click that link that's pinned at the top of the chat room and subscribe to our podcast show real quick. Salute to all the subscribers to the podcast show. I have a lot of unreleased content that is going on the podcast show today and all of this next month. Is going to be crazy content that you will not hear on YouTube. It's only for the podcast show. So make sure that you guys click that link. It's pinned at the top of the live chat room and subscribe to our podcast show. It's right up to the top of the live chat room. Make sure y'all do that. We salute to all of the people who subscribe to the podcast. And I actually dropped 2 clips this morning on the podcast about this case and about, some things that I'm not going to talk about on this YouTube channel, but I talked about on the podcast show in a little bit more detail. So go on over there and click that link pinned at the top, and you'll get that and a lot more content that I already have up there. You'll have access to probably the thousands of content I got up there, and then you'll have access to all the other content I'm putting up there. So today is jury deliberation, and we could get a verdict today, depending on how long the jury takes. We could get a verdict today. The judge, and I'm gonna let y'all know, break it down to y'all what's going on. The judge in this case will address the jurors before deliberations begin. He will charge the jury today, delivering detailed instructions on the law, the charges, and what evidence jurors must consider. This step is crucial as it frames the legal standards for conviction or acquittal, and it can take up to several hours or days, right? Now, once the deliberations begin, the jurors will meet privately today to review evidence and decide on each charge. The verdict must be unanimous. Either way, all 12 jurors must agree on a guilty or a not guilty. If the jury cannot reach a consensus, they report to being deadlocked, right? If they all cannot reach the same verdict, and the judge may urge them to continue. So normally the judge says, "Nah, y'all can't leave out until y'all come up with a verdict." So all y'all got to agree, or all y'all got to disagree. All y'all got to say guilty, or all y'all got to say not guilty. Go back in there and keep going. You know what I'm saying? The judge can tell them to keep going and keep going and keep going. It says, but if there is still no agreement, a mistrial could be declared, meaning the case could be retried or dismissed, which is 99% that if Diddy gets a mistrial, they're gonna retry him again because they've already got the witnesses uh, that they had testify in this case. A majority of them under immunity, which means that the feds can just tell you to come back to court and testify again. You got to go back and testify again. So it's not a situation where they didn't have people under immunity. Maybe the people don't want to come testify. No, 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 no. Most of those people had signed immunity agreements because they were involved. Meaning the feds can use you anytime they want to use you to come up and testify. In this case, and any other cases they may have that go along with this. So now we're getting into this. Also, there are 8 men and 4 women on the jury. New Yorkers that go from the age of 30 to 74 years old. They were selected from Manhattan, the Bronx, Westchester County, and their backgrounds range from investment analysts to massage therapists, reflecting a cross section of the city of New York. Now, Diddy is facing 5 federal charges. None of his charges were dropped, like people lied on YouTube and said. He's facing a RICO conspiracy, racketeering. He's facing 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and he's facing 2 counts of transportation for prostitution. Now, if he's convicted, he could face up to life in prison. Now, Diddy has denied all these allegations and pled not guilty. Now, the key witnesses include Cassie, Jane, and Mia, and also there could potentially be a verdict today, right? So the judge get ready to give his instructions to the jury. There's no set timeline. Deliberations, right, could take hours or stretch of days, as I told you guys, especially given the testimony of 34 witnesses and the complexity of the charges. A unanimous verdict is required. Now, some of these jurors could already have made up in their mind how they feel about this case, how they're leaning. Some jurors can fool you. So I never go off how a juror looks in court. That's why everybody keeps saying, oh, I'm worried about this juror. Bro, you never worry about how a juror looks in court. Only an idiot of a juror will show their hand in court, especially when you're dealing with people with power like that. Normally, what these people will do is throw you off. And then when the verdict comes out, it's too late to try to make something happen. So, my thoughts is, and I've already told you guys this last night, Diddy's going to be found guilty on all charges. I believe he's going to be found guilty on the RICO. I think he's going to be found guilty on both sex trafficking charges. And I think he's going to be found guilty on, so I'm going to say the RICO, both sex trafficking, and I think he's going to be found guilty on the both transportation. I think this is an easy case. I know that we have a lot of people that are not intelligent in the United States of America, and it's sad when you don't have much intelligence. I believe that it's a sad situation, but I believe this is an easy case, and I believe that the evidence is right there in front of your face. And I believe, and I talked about this on my podcast show, and you guys who are not subscribed need to go subscribe to the podcast show to go check this out. Right? And this is what I'm talking about. When I say this, you guys need to go check out the podcast show because I give you intricate details. The link is pinned at the top of the chat room, y'all. Make sure everybody that's watching this video or listening right now, go subscribe to the podcast show. So that's what you guys need to understand. That's what's going to happen as far as the jury deliberations. I think it's an easy case. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I think the case is very easy. I don't even think it's a hard case. To be honest with y'all, I don't think it's a hard case at all. I think it's an easy, open and shut case. Right? Point blank, period. The evidence is right there. You have 34 witnesses. I want y'all to think about something. If you ever saw anything in life happen, and one side had 34 witnesses, and the other side had 0, who would you believe? I want you to think about this right now. If there was ever an incident that happened, and one side had 34 witnesses to corroborate their stories, and the other side had 0. I mean, to go along with the text messages, to go along with the bank records, I, I mean, to go along with video footage, to go along with audio recordings. This is an easy case, man. I don't know why people are so tripping on YouTube. And when I'm right, watch all these same people that said Diddy was gonna get off. Watch them say, "Man, the system messed up." Now you can't say that because y'all the same ones that said that the system. Y'all the same ones that said the system was gonna free Diddy. So now you can't come back and play Monday morning quarterback after the fact, talking about some, man, they did Diddy dirty, man. I'm telling you, man. I don't want to hear that. Right? I don't want to hear that. You guys are a disgrace. Right? Point blank period. Right? You're a disgrace. Now let's talk about the judge's orders in the court. And again, I will be giving even more extensive, if y'all want a more extensive things that I'm not going to say here on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast show. The link is pinned at the top. Because I'm going to be putting this stuff all on the podcast as well. And so you'll get a whole lot of other stuff on the podcast show that's coming too. I got a lot of great content for y'all. But yeah, most definitely, man. And this thing is not going to stop. Then you have the next, after this is over with, then they're going after everybody else. You guys will probably almost immediately hear that, right? So now the court has started today, and the judge is on the bench as the proceedings are underway. The jurors are going to receive now the legal instructions before they go begin the deliberations, right? Now, the judge is going to instruct them again on how the law applies to each charge in this case. See, that's the difference that y'all don't understand. The judge is going to instruct them on how the law applies. Now, his instructions are not quick. He's expected to spend over an hour at least walking the jury through every element of the law and the charges. So the jury, they're going to get a perfect explanation of the law, right? Perfect. You understand what I'm saying? Explanation of the law. That's what they're going to get. So there is going to be no excuses. Now, let's see. For you guys, salute to everybody that's tapped in. I've seen about 3 people that just subscribe to the podcast. Salute to y'all. I've seen 3 new people just subscribe to the podcast. Yeah, y'all click that link pinned at the top of the chat, man. I've seen 3 new people just now subscribe to the podcast. Salute to all of y'all. So let's get to this. Let's get to this, you guys. Right? Now, the judge says, I'll read you the charge. It's long, but I'll try to make it interesting. You have now heard all the evidence in this case, as well as the final arguments of the parties. I will instruct you on the law as I give it to you. The judge says that the evidence is the testimony, the answers, and exhibits, right? Arguments are not evidence. You are the sole and exclusive arbiters of the facts. What is the reasonable doubt? It's based on your common sense after carefully weighing all the evidence. The judge gonna get that nigga life, man. They gonna get that nigga life, bro. And once he get found guilty, judge gonna get this nigga like 30 years. He gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. Point blank, period. You guys are gonna see. I'm telling y'all this. This is the same thing that happened. And let me give y'all an example, right? This is the same thing will happen with O.J. Simpson. They had to vote O.J. Simpson not guilty because they didn't have enough evidence. There was enough reasonable doubt created, and there wasn't enough evidence to pin O.J. Simpson. Why do I say that? Because go back and look at the O.J. Simpson trial. The way the police filed the evidence was illegal. Mark Furman, his testimony was completely wiped out when he was found to lie, right? And people think he planted evidence in that case, at the scene to try to make the case, I guess, stick. See what I'm saying? And it ended up torpedoing his case, period, because he was a liar, right? So here's the thing, right? The judge, and again, so when you look at this situation, Diddy had zero witnesses, bro. And I can't tell y'all enough. You guys have to click on the link pinned at the top of the chat. Go to the podcast show. I'm going to say this again. You have to click the link pinned at the top of the chat. Go to the podcast show. And y'all going to see the videos and the content I'm putting up on the podcast show to break down some of this stuff and let y'all know some of these things. Right? And not only with just this, all the stuff I got on there from all different types of things we talk about. Right? So I'm just trying to tell y'all this. When the jury goes out here, the jury is going to look at the evidence in the case. Right? I want everybody to understand this, right? The evidence. The evidence, Diddy's team did not put any evidence. The judge just told you. Diddy's lawyer's argument don't mean nothing. That's not evidence. That's just him talking shit. I don't think y'all know that Diddy just got destroyed right here. This is easy work. Let me read that to y'all once again. The judge says, you have heard all the evidence in this case, as well as the final arguments of the parties. Listen to this. The evidence is the testimony, the answers, and the exhibits. The arguments are not evidence. So everything that Diddy's lawyer said at the end, everything that the prosecution said at the end should mean nothing. The only thing that counts is what the evidence said. And the fact that Diddy did not bring forth any witnesses and put in evidence. Diddy, I'm telling y'all this, bro. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. People was praising his lawyer. His lawyer's the dumbest lawyer in America. How do you go? And I talked about this on the podcast. Y'all have to click the link at the top and subscribe to the podcast show right now. How can you, and I answered this question on my podcast show too. How can you be a competent lawyer and not have any witnesses? Your witness testimony is evidence. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to go on the podcast after this and talk about this some more. Because this is reprehensible, bro. I don't think the judge just told the jury that all that stuff Diddy's lawyers and the prosecution talked about in the closing arguments, that ain't evidence. That's just them talking. You have to base this decision squarely off the evidence. There you have it. Right? As I told y'all this. And this the part y'all don't understand. So everybody coming here talking about, hey man, Ticket Diddy gonna walk. Yeah, he gonna walk right back into jail. And then he gonna get his sentencing in a couple months. And he gonna take his ass to the penitentiary for the rest of his life. Like I told these niggas the whole time. I'm the only nigga on YouTube too saying that Diddy he gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. Y'all remember this. All these other niggas telling y'all Diddy gonna walk. Everybody else telling y'all, oh, I think Diddy gonna get like 5 years. Are you crazy? He's got a mandatory minimum of 15 on a sex trafficking charge. That's how you know how stupid these people are. His mandatory minimum is 15 years on each sex trafficking charge. He's got a 1 in 10 year on each transportation of prostitution charge. Clowns. So the judge says the evidence is testimony. The answers and the exhibits. Arguments are not evidence. You're the sole and exclusive arbiters of the facts. What is a reasonable doubt? It's based on your common sense after carefully weighing the evidence. You just weight each witness's credibility, he says, right? He says you weigh each witness's credibility, the truth and importance of their testimony. Size him or her up. You must decide. Sean Combs has been formally charged in an indictment. An indictment is not evidence, right? That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. The feds brought so much evidence forth. There's so much, bro, this nigga didn't have no witnesses. Diddy didn't bring forth any witness testimony. And all these people were supposed to, I want y'all to understand this. I need people to really understand what I'm saying right now. If you're Diddy and you had all these people that was around you, how ain't nobody witnesses for you? I talk about that on the podcast. Make sure y'all go subscribe. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. The judge says count 1 charges from 2004 to 2024. That's the RICO, a racketeering enterprise. Count 2 from 2009 to 2018, sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura. Count 3 from 2009 2018, transporting individuals, including but not limited to Cassie Ventura, for the purposes of prostitution. Right? Y'all heard what I said? I want y'all to understand this. What I'm saying to y'all. The judge is breaking this all down for everybody in the jury. Right? So the Diddy's team sat there and told y'all, oh, yeah, they swingers, man. This is like normal. You know what I'm saying? This is like a love story. Are you crazy? So getting your ass whooped on the regular is a love story, sir? That's a love story? That's a love story? And Jazzy Face Eve, I salute you for subscribing to the podcast show. Matter of fact, I'm going to shout out everybody I see that clicks that link at the top and subscribes to the podcast show. Nia, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show. I just seen you in there. Anybody that pops up on my screen right now that subscribes to the podcast show, I'm shouting you out. Marlene Williams, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show. I appreciate it. Right? Appreciate you. Hold on one second, yeah. One second. Hold on. John Wheeler, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast. Andrea Washington, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show. I appreciate y'all. Look, so check it out, y'all. As we're going through that, right? And the links is pinned at the top of the chat. Um, as I was saying to you guys, everybody that's watching this video that's tapped in, right? Um, let me see. So yeah, the judge, as I said to you guys, and I'll say it again, uh, he says that count four is from 2019 to 2024. Now that's the sex trafficking of Jane Doe. Count five is from 2019 to 2024. That's the transporting individuals, including but not limited to Jane Doe, for the purposes of prostitution. Each count is separate. So those are all separate counts. Now the judge says for attempt, the United States must show intent and a substantial step taken. Mere intention does not amount to attempt. Aiding and abetting means knowingly doing some act to aid or encourage a crime to be committed. Right? Right? So the judge is out here giving the jury these instructions. TL Max, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show, sir. Appreciate everybody that's subscribing to the pod. All y'all gotta do is click that little link pin at the top of the chat live chat room. Y'all know what it is. And I will be going on there after this and dropping some more content over there because I got something else I want to say. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I see a lot of stuff that's going on. I don't really want to talk about it here on YouTube, but bro, as I said to you guys, man, that shit, it saddens me. It really does, man. To where our world is at right now, shit saddens me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think about something. And I'm going to give y'all a hint. I'm going to start this out. How can you have damn near 100 people accusing somebody of something? Outside of he already had 34 witnesses in court. How can you have damn near 100 people accusing you of something outside of court? I ain't saying everybody's telling the truth, every single person. But I'm saying, how can you have damn near 100 civil suits of people accusing you and people that we, in this lifetime, in this world we live in, got the audacity and the heart and the balls to run around here talking about some, man, it's shut up, man. Bro, the world we live in, man, I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. Melissa Thaxton, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast. Dewana Adams, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast. This is crazy work, man. Crazy work, bro. Right? Appreciate all of y'all that's in the building. Yeah, y'all like, share, subscribe too, man. Crazy work, man, that's going on with all these people, man. I just, like I said before to you guys, man, I'm amazed that, you know, the demon count has grown. Right? I'm amazed the demon count has grown, bro. Seriously. Now, I do want to say this to y'all. People try to guess the time of the jury. If they come out early, man, you know, they know he's guilty. Because normally the faster they come out is like, most people think that you automatically going to be found guilty on damn near every charge. But this is the case right here. It has so many witnesses. If they really go through the evidence correctly, you know what I'm saying, it's going to take them probably over a day or two. Like I said, this to me, this will be, the jury will be in before the end of Wednesday. I don't think this goes to the end of this week. The longer this goes, either the longer this goes past Wednesday, it's gonna let you know that the jurors are not, they're arguing in there. Like he got jurors that's in there going at it. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get the gist of the jury quick. You know what I mean? Because if that jury comes back like in 4 or 5 hours, shit. You know what I mean? Either you got a whole jury of people who don't believe nobody that came up there and testified for the government and none of the evidence the government got, or they already know this is an open and shut case like I told y'all. Because I already told y'all, this is open and shut to me. I don't know what the hell these dudes is on, but I do know what's on. I do know what's going on. I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Right? Salute to everybody that's tapped in, man. Y'all know what it is. Dewana Adams, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show. Y'all already know what it is. Right? Yeah, man. We appreciate everybody that's tapped in here, man. I salute all of y'all, man. Y'all coming through showing love, man. I appreciate that. That's a blessing, y'all. Everybody that's pulling up, showing love, man. That's a blessing. Now, the judge says for the RICO, the United States must prove that from 2004 up until 2024, that there was an agreement between two or more individuals for a racketeer enterprise that impacted state commerce, that the defendant joined and committed at least two predicate acts. Right? Now, remember all these clowns are saying that, oh, yeah, they dropped the charges. They ain't dropped no charges, bro. They dropped, under the RICO, they dropped their theory of certain predicate acts. So, for example, let me explain this to everybody so y'all can understand, right? I'm put this on the screen for y'all once again, because I know niggas is dumb, deaf, and blind running around here on YouTube. For example, under the RICO, there was a lot of different allegations. Here's the reason why Diddy's going to get caught up on the RICO. Because they charged him not just once with transportation, but twice of prostitution. Not just once of sex trafficking, but twice. So all they have to do is find him guilty of 2 prostitution counts. That's it. That means paying people for sex 2 times in a 10-year span. And he's going to prison for the RICO. Because they charged him twice. Now, when you look at the arson and it says attempt, and the what you call it says attempt, all they did was drop off the attempt. They're saying, no, he didn't attempt to do it. He did it. See, that's the part people are forgetting. They took off the attempt because they're telling the jury, no, we ain't saying he attempted to do it. We saying he did it. So, the judge says the United States must prove a mutual understanding to cooperate. You may infer its existence from the circumstances of this case. Actions may speak louder than words. You may consider the acts of all of those you find to be participants. Now, this is where everything the government said is important. KK, right? And all the other people that they name in this case with Sean Diddy Combs as being part of his inner circle. Shout out to Ivy Albert for subscribing to the podcast. Shout out to Tina for subscribing to the podcast show. Salute to you, Tina. We appreciate all of y'all. Right? So back to these predicate acts that I'm showing y'all, right? So all they did was just say, nah, he didn't attempt. They didn't drop any charges against Diddy. They dropped it predicate acts as far as Okay, so y'all see like the second line that says arson plus attempt conspiracy. All they did was take attempt out, but they didn't take the arson down. They still accuse him of the arson. He is still being charged with the arson. They're just saying he didn't attempt to do it. They're saying no, no, no. He conspired and he's responsible. That's what they're saying. That's the part people don't understand. So when they went around here lying, and then everybody gonna come back, I thought they dropped the charges. No, you don't know how to read legal paperwork, jackass. And that's your problem. The only thing they did was to take away the word attempt. So when you take attempt off of bribery, but you keep conspiracy, and you say that you bribed the person, man, you basically saying he didn't attempt to do it, he did it. That's even worse than attempt. Is the actual act. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all, people don't be knowing what they be talking about. They just be on YouTube just talking. And shout out to Donna Gordon for subscribing to the podcast show. I appreciate you. Right? Melissa Thaxton, salute to you in the Cash App. You coming through with a $25 donation. She says, thank you for standing on truth. I'm always going to do that. Real talk. Real talk. And for everybody who thinks this is over, this situation is just getting started. Right? I want y'all to understand that. I really want everybody to understand that what I'm saying to y'all. Right? Please do. Right? And here's the important thing that the judge said. Right? When he gave all the different counts. He told the jury, look, you got to consider those individually. This ain't put together. These are individual acts. So you have to judge that individually. That's why I told y'all, they gonna nail Diddy. They gonna nail his ass, bro. Because I told y'all, in order to prove the sex trafficking, you don't have to even prove a pattern of sex trafficking. All you have to do is prove that he did it one time by fraud, force, or coercion. And that nigga is going for 15 years, at least. At least 15 years. One time. So if he lied to Cassie, or if he lied to the other girl one time and told him, yeah, come over, it's just gonna be me and you having sex, and then she gets over and then he got a freak off going on with sex workers that's getting paid, that nigga's out of here. That's sex trafficking by fraud. I'm gonna explain this to everybody listening to this video again. It don't get no easier than this. You don't even have to go to school for this shit. This is the best education you ever gonna get on Ticket TV. Let me give y'all an example, right? And I don't want to offend nobody, but let me give y'all an example, right? Nicole in the comment section, Nicole Brown. Let's use you, right? Right? Let's use this beautiful sister right here, right? With no offense. If I tell Nicole, hey, Nicole, I want you to come over to my house to watch a movie. Yeah, come on over here. Let's watch a movie, right? Oh, you want to watch a movie with me, Ticket? Yeah. Come on, we're gonna watch a movie. Like, let's watch Netflix. Like, get some food. I want to order some food. Get some Netflix. Nicole comes over, and when she comes over, I got two dudes over here ready to gangbang her ass. Right? That's sex trafficking by fraud. That means that I got her to come over to my crib under false pretenses when I already knew what I was going to do. That's the part these idiots don't understand. So when Jane Doe said that, and they showed the text messages where she told Diddy she only wanted to have one-on-one with Diddy and Turks and Caicos, and Diddy was like, come on, I got you, come on. Ain't no problem. I got you, come on, it's just going to be me and you. And she gets out there And Diddy's got the sex workers out there ready to do a freak off. He don't got her to come out there off the pretenses of fraud. That's sex trafficking by fraud. Y'all gotta understand this. So the person said I'm making this shit up. I'm not making it up. Literally was in the case. You lying piece of shit, blocked. It's literally in the evidence in the case. Look it up. Right? So these are the different things I'm telling everybody that you guys gotta understand. Now, by force. What is force, Ticket? What you saw with Cassie in the video. Cassie's leaving the freak off in the hotel. And the reason why they're going to get Diddy dead to rights is Cassie didn't even have her shoes on. She was walking in her bare feet, which means she probably was having sex. How do you know that? Diddy came out in a towel, butt ass naked. He wasn't wet. He wasn't dripping like he just got out the shower. He came out in a towel like he was participated in some perverted sexual activity. Then you had the sex worker in the room. Then you had the security guard say he saw the sex worker in the room. Right? I want y'all to listen to this, what I'm saying to y'all now. Then he beats Cassie, drags her back towards the room. And Diddy's scumbag lawyer says, oh, well, Cassie, she went back to the room. Yeah, she went back with the security guard, bitch ass nigga, to get her shit. And then she left. Asshole light. She didn't stay there without the security guard. The only reason why she felt safe to go back in that room is because the security guard was there, nigga. And I'm mad Diddy's lawyer didn't hand him his ass on that one. She should have handed him his ass on that one when he said that dumb shit. Right? So that is what happened. See what I'm saying? Wasn't about no cell phone. Because if it was about the cell phone, once Diddy got the cell phone, he'd have left. You would have seen him come back. He got the cell phone, left, and came back. Took the bag back to the room. Why did he do that? Because Diddy knew she could not leave without her phone and without her bag. Who was she going to call to come get her? And she got all her shit in her bag, her keys and probably all the other shit in her bag. So if I got your phone in your bag, you got to come back to this room. Easy work, man. That nigga going to prison. See, can't no nigga outdo this with me because I'm a real motherfucking nigga. Period. Tried and true, nigga. And can't nobody get that slick shit past me at all. They can't do it. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Cannot do it. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. That shit don't work with me. Try that shit with somebody else. Right? So y'all see what it is. Y'all see what it is. Now let's keep it pushing. Right? So yeah, I seen somebody talking about a mistrial. A mistrial only means they're gonna run it back. That's all a mistrial means, that Diddy ass got to sit in jail until. Let me get on. Well, I talked about it on my podcast show. I don't want to go through it again. Just click the link pinned at the top of the chat, and y'all go subscribe to my podcast show. Y'all go see it right there on the podcast show. Right? I want y'all to all understand what I'm saying. right? That's what I want y'all to do, right? All right. So, um, let's get back to this. The judge says that if you find that Combs Enterprises existed, you must find whether it continued in a substantially similar form from 2004 to 2024. The people can charge as to the defendant being a member, he had to know of the existence of the enterprise, right? Right? So now all the opinions are out the window. The only thing that's going to matter is the law and the evidence. That's it. That's why I keep trying to tell you, I'm not worried about the jury. So the judge says, right, if you find that Combs Enterprise existed, you must find whether it continued in a substantially similar form from 2004 to 2024. The people can change. As to the defendant being a member, he had to know of the existence of the enterprise. The United States has alleged 8 predicates, right? Did I tell y'all this? He didn't drop any of the predicates. These assholes told y'all, hey, yeah, man, they dropped the kidnapping, they dropped the this, they dropped the arson. Are you out your goddamn mind? Are you out your effing mind? The judge says it right now. The United States has alleged 8 predicate acts under the racketeering: kidnapping, arson, bribery, witness tampering, forced labor, sex trafficking, transportation of prostitution, intent to distribute narcotic. The United States has to prove 2 of those offenses within 10 years. Didn't I tell y'all this? They didn't drop any charges, jackass. They didn't drop any of the charges. The judge just said it in court. The arson's still there. The bribery's still there. The kidnapping's still there. The witness tampering's still there. The forced labor's still there. The sex trafficking's still there. The transportation of prostitution is still there. The intent to distribute narcotics is still there. Nigga, I stand on this shit, nigga. The only thing they did was drop attempts to streamline and make it simpler for the jury. But when I said this, niggas ran with the, oh man, come on, Tiki man, you just mad because they dropped charges. Bitch, they ain't dropped no charges. Didn't I tell y'all this? All they gotta do is prove 2 of them mofos. And, bro, man, I tried to tell y'all this. Niggas ain't want to listen. Niggas ain't want to listen. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. And all they gotta do is get him guilty on one time. This is the part y'all don't think y'all have to understand. One time. And everybody keeps thinking, oh, after this Diddy trial is over with, it's over with. No, it ain't. Nigga, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. No, it ain't. This is just the beginning. I hope everybody know that. Because they coming for the whole slab. The whole slab. Right? Y'all need to understand that. Right? Y'all heard what I'm saying, right? See, these niggas up here getting stir fried, nigga. Shout out to Lenore Jean Baptiste with the big donation and the PayPal. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you. Salute to you. They're not telling that all them charges stuck. Everybody was like, "Hey man, ticket man, what you gonna say now?" They dropped them charges. No, they didn't. You lying piece of shit. They did not. Right? I done told y'all this. All they gotta get this nigga is by two, and they can get him for two prostitutions. And under the RICO, he's done. That's the easiest one. The nigga paid for escorts. That's why when they had Funny Face go up there talking about something, I don't know how my testimony can help. You idiot. You sat up there and said that you got paid to have sex. That's how you helped. They didn't care about anything else. That the fact that you didn't have a criminal history, so they couldn't debunk your credibility to the Punisher dude, and you testified that you got paid for sex. Period. And when you couldn't perform, you got paid less. That dude's an idiot. Sitting up there going on every YouTube channel talking about something. I don't know how my testimony could help the prosecutor. Are you crazy? You jackass? That is absolute stupidity going on in the community, man. And this shit is unacceptable that this level of stupidity is going on in our community, bro. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Right? People crazy as hell. Don't understand nothing. Like I said, you got the one dude running around YouTube. This nigga got oversized dress shirts, oversized overalls, a necktie for Shaquille O'Neal. This nigga got on all Shaq clothes, and he Kobe size. Sitting outside the courtroom talking about they doing somebody dirty. You can't trust no nigga like that. This man can't even get his shirt fitted. Right? Peep what I just said. Peep what I just said. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Salute everybody that's tapped in. Everybody sitting up there telling y'all, yeah, man, ticket, man. They got rid of the RICO, man. Are y'all crazy? Right? All right, y'all. So let's move on. And this ought to be a great lesson to everybody that's listening to this video. This should be a great lesson to all of you. To everybody, this should be a great lesson. Great lesson. Shonda, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show. Yeah, y'all click the link. It's pinned at the top of the live chat room. Subscribe to that podcast show. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up. Michelle Anthony, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show. I appreciate it. She said, "Don't spread illegal info." Hold on, let me see. Yeah, man. What you mean? Hold on, let me see something. Let me see what this girl talking about. Hold on. To the sister, they're here. Hey, who you talking about? To the person whose name they're here. What you talking about? What happened? I see you talking about something in the comments. What happened? Well, what? No, I'm saying what happened. I'm asking you what happened. I saw what you was writing. I'm saying what happened. That's all I just want to know is what had happened. It's not about whether they're related or not. This is one thing y'all got to understand. It's not about, listen, all this is about, not about whether they can relate to this, that, or the third. It's all about the evidence. That's it. Did the evidence prove that Sean Diddy Combs paid Eddie? Yes, the evidence proved it. How do we know? The nigga gave him an NDA. I mean, that's all you need to know. They didn't even deny paying Eddie that money. They didn't even deny paying him for the tape. That's bribery. That's bribery. That we ain't got to talk about nothing else. That's bribery right there. Right? I'll tell y'all what it is right now. That's bribery. Prove it. Then the drug distribution. They actually have 5 people saying that they delivered drugs to the dude. That's drug distribution right there. They went and bought them, picked them up, delivered it to him. Then they actually have drugs on the table. Doesn't matter the amount. It matters that you did it. And it was illegal drugs. This is the part people don't realize. So when I be saying this stuff like this, and I be telling niggas put their bread up, nigga, it ain't based off my emotions. These mofos come on YouTube basing shit off their emotions. I'm basing shit off the evidence that was presented, nigga. Evidence. Not hearsay. Not this. I'm talking about evidence, nigga. So the judge says, now check this out. This is where they're going to get Diddy. Everybody listen to this right now. So the judge says the United States alleges 8 predicated acts. Kidnapping. Remember all these fools came on YouTube and said, man, they dropped the kidnapping, man. They dropped the kidnapping charge. Yeah, the nigga, they dropped the arson, nigga. That shit was all lies. No, it wasn't, nigga. That shit was the fucking truth. And they didn't drop it. The only thing they dropped was the predicate attempt word because they did not want the jury to think that they didn't feel like Diddy did it. So basically they dropped the attempt, streamlined it, and say, no, we saying that nigga did do it. And if you don't think he did it, we're saying he conspired to do it. So he had it done, period. So they're saying, no, he did it or had it done. Not even attempt. They took attempt out so that it was nowhere to be playing around here with the jury. And that's the part y'all niggas gonna learn. And you niggas gonna learn today. Because them niggas, same niggas, slow ass niggas, gonna come on YouTube. Man, I thought they dropped them charges. No, they didn't, dumbass nigga. You just an idiot that don't know shit about the goddamn law. He's like a fucking idiot. And I said it too. That word, an effing idiot, period. Pure idiocy going on. Watch how all these dummies come out here today when that nigga get found guilty. This week, they gonna come out here, hey man, I thought they dropped it. Man, nigga, shut up, nigga. You thought, nigga, because you don't know paperwork, nigga. You think they gonna come all the way over here and show that, nigga? Get out of here, man. The evidence shows something else. He ain't going home, sir. His home is gonna be the goddamn penitentiary, sir. Or ma'am, whatever the hell your name is. So, shit. I don't know what you talking about. Y'all finna find out harsh, man. Bro, all these people finna be on crap. It's finna be a crowd fest around here. I'm telling y'all this. Right? These niggas finna start crying. I'm telling you, man, they gonna want all the Diddy's drops all over them. So, anyways, the judge says that the United States alleged the 8 acts under the RICO: kidnapping, arson, bribery, witness tampering, forced labor, sex trafficking, transportation of prostitution, intent to distribute narcotics. The United States has to prove 2 of these offenses only within 10 years. Also, the judge says that kidnapping does not occur if the victim did not consent. Consent may be withdrawn. Arson, under California law, means the conspirator set fire or caused the fire, willfully or maliciously. So they're saying that, hey, the arson means either Diddy did it himself or he had somebody else do it. Them having that bad boy truck at that house when that car blew up. And then Diddy saying he was gonna blow that dude's car up and then telling the dude he apologized for it. He done. Y'all niggas think I'm joking. That's why I keep trying to tell these niggas. The evidence is clear. The problem is the devil is alive and well. So as long as these dudes got them demons up in them, they're gonna keep running around here acting like a bunch of devils. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people is anyway. Just a bunch of devils running around here, man. Right? Period. You know what I'm saying? So the judge says bribery of a witness under California law requires that a conspirator gave or promised to give a bribe. Right? That's bribery. Gave or promised to give a bribe to a person given or about to give information to law enforcement to unlawfully influence it. What did I tell y'all last time on this channel? What happens at a hotel? Anybody in this comment section right now, this is how I give the easiest breakdowns on all of YouTube. This is how y'all know all these fake ass, I ain't even gonna say it. Take your ass right now to the Ritz-Carlton. Go on the 5th floor, because that's where bruh man gonna be at. Go on the 5th floor, right? And go put your hands on a woman on camera and see what they do. See if they don't call the cops and give that video to the cops. That's hotel policy. The reason why it was important that they show y'all that Cassie got the settlement from the hotel is it shows you that the hotel knows they were wrong because they helped cover up a crime when they were supposed to report it to the authorities. That's hotel policy anywhere. Anytime a criminal act happens in your hotel and then Diddy was throwing shit, breaking shit from the hotel, they're automatically supposed to call the cops. And the cops, the first thing the cops are going to do is ask for the surveillance video. The fact that they got rid of the surveillance video because they got bribed, that's obstruction of justice. And that's bribery. And that's witness tampering. Game over. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all, these people don't got no effing brains on YouTube. They ain't got a head to put it in either. And shit is elementary. I told y'all, this is an open and shut. This is the most open and shut case I've seen in a long time, bro. And I watch cases all the time on Court TV, and I'm gonna start doing more cases on this channel. Shout out to Jesus for Real with the subscription to the podcast show. Salute to you. I see you. If y'all want to subscribe to the podcast show, click that link. It's pinned at the top of the live chat room. All y'all gotta do is go click that link, subscribe to the podcast show. I will have more episodes up. I have them up today already. 2 episodes. I'm gonna have more up tonight, talking about this whole situation, going in depth. Cause see, I told y'all, I'm gonna stir fry these niggas. These niggas got to get cooked well done, and I ain't finished cooking yet. I'm not finished cooking yet. Cause they think it's over with after this trial. No, it's a lot more to come after this. A lot more to come. This is only the beginning of what's gonna set off a lot of other things. Right? Nah, I mean, he's been accused of that. The thing is that the feds did not put everything in this case. Y'all gotta understand that. The feds are smart. They didn't put everything in this case. Y'all don't understand. If Diddy, the feds didn't put all their eggs in one basket. They're not that stupid. Right? And y'all gonna find that out. Shout out to Maria Tapia for subscribing to the podcast show. Now let's move forward, right? Now, what does it say, y'all? What does it say? For witness tampering violation, 18 section 1512B3, it does not matter if the subject of the threat is in fact fearful. Only a threat is required, but it must be knowing. For forced labor, section 18 1589A, it requires a use of force or use of force of physical restraint. Right? Peep what I'm saying to y'all now. Now, let's pull that up. That's a good one to pull up. Let me pull it up right now. Right? Now let's pull up the forced labor law. Right? Whoever knowingly provides or obtains the labor or services of a person by any combination of the following means. 1, by means of force, threats of force, physical restraint, or threats of physical restraint to that person or another person. 2, by means of serious harm or threats of serious harm to that person or another person. 3, by means of the abuse of threatened abuse of law or legal process. Or 4, by means of any scheme, plan, or pattern intended to cause the person to believe that if the person did not perform such labor or services, right, that the person, right, or another person would suffer serious harm or physical restraint, shall be punished as provided under subsection D. And I think somebody said Mathis said he'd only give 5 to 10. Yeah, but because Judge Mathis is a washed up ass TV judge that don't know the hell he's talking about. You can't give somebody 5 to 10 when the goddamn minimum is 15 for one of the charges, and for the RICO, the minimum is damn near 15. So he's talking about like a state situation. They don't even know what the hell he talking about. Don't y'all know that the mandatory minimum for sex trafficking is 15? That's why these niggas be telling y'all this shit. And then each of the prostitution charges lead up to 10 years. They go from 1 to 10 years for the prostitution. And the judge can stack those years on top of each other because he got 2 different charges. So the judge can say, yeah, I'm going to give you 10 years on each charge, Diddy, and you're going to serve 20 total. There's nothing Diddy can do. The judge can say, yeah, I'm going to give you 5 years, stack them up, you're going to serve 10 total. Nothing Diddy can do. That's just for the prostitution. But for the sex trafficking and for the RICO, if he get hit with any of them charges, that nigga ain't doing no less than 15. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all this. It's actually attached to these charges are sentencing guidelines. That's how y'all know people be stuck on stupid. Shout out to Lenore Jean Baptiste for subscribing to the podcast show. Salute to you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. All right. Salute. Right? Listen to what I said. I'm telling y'all this. And as I told y'all, if Diddy, which is obstruction of justice, never would have went and got that video, the hotel would have had to send that video and call the cops. And when Diddy's lawyer says, "Oh, nobody called the police," yeah, they didn't call the police because your client, you jackass, he paid for the evidence illegally. You're an idiot. Point blank, period. You're an idiot. That's the reason why. Let's talk about that one more time. Let's talk about that part one more time, y'all. Right? So, because this is easy work. The bribery is so easy because Diddy obstructed justice. I'm going to say it again. Let me ask y'all a question, right? Everybody in this build, everybody listening to this video go shopping. What happens if you get in a fight in a store? What is the store manager supposed to do? If a man starts beating up on a woman in the store, what are they going to do? They're going to call the cops, right? All right, then. What's going to happen when the cops arrive? They're going to go get that tape. He needed for evidence. You don't need Cassie to call the cops for a police report to be made. If the police have the evidence, which they would have had if Diddy didn't bribe them, they could have brought charges on their own. Duh. But that's how stupid people are. And I ain't even going to say stupid. They just selling their soul, that's all. They know what it is. They're not stupid. They know what's up. People are smart, man. They're not stupid. You know what I'm saying? They just living on demon time, that's all. That's all they doing is living on demon time. They living on demon time. And I done told y'all this. Yeah, I heard what I said. Mm-hmm. So now y'all are starting to understand some of these legal things that are going on. So all these charges that the judges is giving the jury, Man, it's gonna do Diddy, man. Itty bitty Diddy gonna get racked up, man. That nigga gonna get put in a torture rack, my nigga. They gonna rack itty bitty Diddy to fuck up. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. For real, for real. So yeah, all of the allegations and stuff don't mean nothing. The only thing that means something is the actual testimony. That's the only thing that means something, right? So that's what's going on. All right, let's see something, y'all. All right. So the judge says, and y'all listen to this closely. A person may withdraw consent, and it may become forced labor. Sex trafficking will have the same definition as in counts 2 and in counts 4, but transportation to engage in prostitution the same as count 3 and 5. Right? Y'all listen to what I'm saying now. Y'all listen to what I'm saying now. That's crazy. That's why it was important. When they were talking about, oh, Diddy was making them have sex for 4 straight days, doing freak offs without rest, right? And she said that she threw up and Diddy shoved a pill down her throat and told her to get back out there and do it some more. Yeah, that's forced labor. And then going to prison. People don't see this type of stuff. They don't understand this, but shit, they gonna learn today. They gonna learn today. This is one of the easiest cases I ever seen. All right. So, as the judge is giving the instructions, and the jury is going to go deliberate, we could have this verdict in by this afternoon. You know, like I said, I don't think it's going to be that hard. I think by today or tomorrow they'll have it in, no later than Wednesday. That's my prediction. My prediction is late today or tomorrow, but no later than Wednesday. I don't think it goes past Wednesday. You know, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. The quicker they get back, man, it's gonna be the worst for Diddy, in my opinion. So if they get back like within 2 days, if they come back within 2 or 3 days, man, that's gonna be horrible for Diddy. Shout out to Dory with the donation. Salute to you. I mean, not the donation. Salute to Dory for subscribing to the podcast show, y'all. Yeah, y'all click that link at the top of the chat. Subscribe to the podcast show. Salute to everybody, right? Oh, you said the lawyer on Stephen A. Smith show. Man, that nigga look like a goddamn bro. That nigga look like a joke, bro. Ain't nobody taking him serious, man. They're the type of niggas that lose clients for saying stupid shit online. Well, now watch. They all was praising Diddy's lawyer's closing statements. When this nigga found guilty, they all gonna destroy his lawyer. They gonna change their thoughts about his lawyer's closing statements. Watch. I don't think you should have said that. I think the jury thought he was condescending and blah blah. Nah, the jury's just gonna go off the evidence, buddy. And the evidence say that nigga's guilty. Right? I want y'all to think about this. I'm just gonna sit back here and laugh. Everybody been riding this fake ass Diddy train. Y'all gonna see. You keep going up against that system thinking you're gonna win. Diddy has won all those times in the past. So these people got false sense of hope, thinking you just gonna keep on winning. Nope. At some point in time, they gonna get you. Same way they did John Gotti, man. I still can't get over the fact this man ain't called no witnesses, bro. I just can't, bro. This man ain't called no witnesses, y'all. Can y'all believe this shit? Itty bitty Diddy. This nigga ain't called no witnesses. How in the hell you supposed to have a serious trial, my nigga, when you ain't called no witnesses, B? None. Like, literally, this nigga ain't called no witnesses. All right, I got you. Hold on. Hold on. All right. I'm going to put it in the comments for y'all so y'all can see it. Because I seen a couple people say they couldn't see it to me. I don't know how y'all don't see that link. It's pinned at the top of the chat. But I don't think some of y'all even understand when I say that. There you go right there in the comments. I think, is that it? Hold on, man. What the freak? Why is this shit not going up? Hold on, y'all. What? Hey, shout out to Stacy Stewart for subscribing to the podcast show too. Stacy Stewart, salute to you. I think that's it right there. There you go. Yeah, y'all see it right there. It's right there on the screen. All you gotta do is click that link that's in the chat room. I put it in the chat for y'all. And I think I just shouted out Stacy Stewart. Yeah, shout out to Stacy Stewart for subscribing to the podcast show. Yep. There go the link right there. You know what I mean? Now, let's keep going, y'all. So the judge says, right? Next is the distribution of narcotics. And the judge says, including this long word that you see here, knowingly and intentionally. Distribution means actual transfer to deliver to another person. For possession, physical custody is not needed. Control is enough. You have it right there. right? So that's the drug distribution, right? So when they say the drug distribution, here's the thing, right? Now he says control is enough, meaning Diddy controlled the situation. So Diddy would have them go buy the drugs, which they testified, and bring it back to him, right? He controlled the situation. He had, people that was under him getting him drugs, and they were going using aliases, going to doctors, doing all these things, and having those drugs sent back to him. That's the control of the drug distribution right there. And they testified. You have multiple people testify to that. So he have no argument to get around that. And shout out to me with the donation. I mean, excuse me, with the subscribing to the podcast show. And shout out to Ursula Henry subscribing to the podcast show. That's over 70 new subscribers to the podcast show. We're trying to get over 2,000 subscribers new to the podcast show. All you gotta do is click that link. It's pinned at the top of the live chat. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So y'all see what's going on, right? And people are mad at the judge because he's reading in the law. How you gonna get mad at the judge? All the judge doing is reading the actual law. It's in the law. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then Diddy distributed the drugs to the girls. Told her take this effing pill and shoved it down her throat. Remember she testified to that? Her testimony is evidence. So that everybody keeps saying, hey man, y'all niggas crazy as hell, man. Y'all crazy as hell. The testimony is evidence. Right? And the fact that so many other people testified that they were sent to go get these drugs and bring back the Diddy, set up his knapsacks and stuff like that, full of drugs. I mean, bro, what else we talking about, Playboy? Right? Not gonna happen. Yeah, are y'all listening to what I'm saying? All right. So, all right. Shout out to Anthony Mack for subscribing to the podcast. Salute to you, sir. Anthony Mack, I appreciate you, dog. Much love, homie. You know what it is. All right. So the judge is basically just explaining the law, like I said, to the jurors on all the charges. That's it. That's all the judge is doing, is explaining the law. And then once he explains that law, then the jury has to go back and find out whether or not they believe it's true or not, that it was proven or not. You know? That's why I told y'all, it's going to come back to haunt this nigga. Bro, they didn't. I got to say this again, bro. This man didn't call no witnesses, bro. I talked about this shit on my podcast show. Anybody that subscribed to the podcast show right now, y'all gonna see it. And everybody that's in the chat room, y'all seen it. If you subscribe, y'all seen it. Bro, how you ain't bring no witnesses, bro? You had all these people was around Diddy. That man ain't bring no witnesses to answer testimony on his behalf. None. That's a disgrace of epic proportions, bro. I don't give a damn if I gotta go get an 85-year-old granny that's my neighbor to come speak up for me. I'm sorry. Somebody have to come speak up for you in court, bro. It can't be overkill like that, dog. So the judge says the racketeering has a 5-year statute of limitation. You must find that it continued past 2019. If you find that the government had not proved this beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find the defendant not guilty. Right? So the judge says that RICO has a 5-year statute of limitation. You must find that it continued past 2019. If you find that the government had not proved that beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find Diddy not guilty. All right? So the judge definitely being fair. Right? Somebody says the judge is on the prosecution side. How is he on the prosecution side? The judge is only reading out the law. And people are mad. Oh, he's on the prosecution side. How's he doing? How's he on the prosecution side? You reading law, jackass? All right. Salute everybody. Yeah, the judge is fair, man. He ain't got no smut on his name. I mean, obviously these dudes try to put on his name because they need any excuse for itty bitty Diddy, except for Diddy. Everybody else is the excuse. All right. Hold on, y'all. All right. So when the judge said that, let me explain to everybody, right? Um, I want y'all to understand this. What's going on, right? When the judge said there's a 5-year statute of limitation on the RICO, that means that you had to show the RICO continued, which is easy to show because it kept going. So he's basically saying, like, look, if there's a 5-year gap and nothing happened, it's not a RICO. But in Diddy's situation, that shit was only going for 20 years. That shit didn't even, there was no pause in that 20 years. That's the crazy part about Diddy. Like, even if the nigga would have stopped for like 5 years, you know what I'm saying? It would have been harder to F with him had he would have had a 5-year pause. Because there's a 5-year statute of limitation, right? Easy work, y'all. Shout out to Sam Crewley. I believe that's your name. Shout out to the Real Slay Queen TV for subscribing to the podcast show too. Salute to you, sis. and the brother. Right? I appreciate everybody that's tapped in. Y'all know what it is. But as I said to y'all, man, the evidence is just too easy, bro. This shit ain't even hard, man. If you thought this was gonna be hard, it's not hard. It's very simple, right? I'm telling y'all this. Hold on, y'all. All right. Hold on, you guys. All right. So let's get to this. Let me see. Hold on one second, y'all. Right. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Shout out to Taviana Barron and Tracy Girl. Salute to both of y'all for subscribing to the podcast show. The link is in the chat, y'all. All right. Oh, shout out to the brother Stanley uh, in the uh, in the podcast show. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate it, homie. Hold on, man. What the fuck? Hold on. Hold on one second. All right. All right. Shout out to Michael Davis for subscribing to the podcast show. Michael Davis, salute to you, sir. Salute to you, Michael Davis. I appreciate it, bro. Big Michael Davis in the building. Let me see something. I'm a big dog. Hold on, man. What? Nah, man. Niggas capping. My niggas on cap, my nigga. My niggas on cap. All right? Yeah, niggas on cap. Yeah. All right, you guys. So now the judge says, now we go to the sex trafficking, you guys. Now he says in the sex trafficking, right? On counts 2 and counts 4, sex trafficking, right? Uh, he says transport, right? It means to take or convey from one place to another place. Reckless disregard satisfies the statute. The deliberate closing of eyes. You must be unanimous on at least one specific instance of sex trafficking. That's it. Didn't I tell y'all this? That's where they're going to nail his ass. All they have to do is get Diddy on one time. Not even a pattern. So everybody's saying, oh, she wanted it. She always was saying this. Man, all they have to do is show one time. One time. By, right? Right? Force, fraud, or coercion. Once. Just once. Just once. I'm telling y'all this. I hope y'all see what I'm talking about. So they get this nigga one time, he out of here. Is somebody here capping y'all? Hold on. Somebody capping. I see y'all saying somebody capping. Let me see. Let me see. All right. I'm a big dog. So the judge says on counts 3 and 5, knowingly transporting or arranging for the transportation an individual for the purposes of an act of prostitution right? Buying or arranging a ticket is enough. Prostitution does not need to be the main purpose. He toast, nigga. Didn't I tell y'all niggas this? Let me say this again. All they have to do is find Diddy guilty of this one time, nigga. And that nigga's doing a minimum of 15 years. That's why I told these hoes. Them niggas don't know the fucking law. Let me repeat this again. On counts 3 and 5, knowingly transporting or arranging for the transportation of an individual for the purposes of an act of prostitution. Buying or arranging a ticket, that's enough. It meets the circumstance. Prostitution does not have to be the main purpose. Just for the purpose of it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Now, my bad, y'all. I had to get something straight. The judge says, this is where Diddy is toast, bro. This nigga is toast. The judge says on counts 3 and 5, knowingly transporting or arranging for the transportation of an individual for the purposes of an act of prostitution. Just buying or arranging a plane ticket is enough. Prostitution does not need to be the main purpose according to the law. Prostitution is engaging in sexual activity for money or its equivalent. It's over with. You must be unanimous on at least one specific act of transportation with intent to engage in prostitution. On venue, the U.S. must prove at least one, that's it, just one act occurred in the Southern District of New York. All 8 counties included. Man, that nigga is out of here, bro. I told you. When I said this, nigga said I was capping. Them niggas don't know the law. These niggas just run around here talking. They gonna learn legal law today. Because this why I went in there and read all the laws specifically. Because I knew this was gonna happen. And when you don't know the law, you can get your ass torn to shreds. All they're doing is reading what's in the law. Now, here's the thing. You might not like the laws. That's on you. That's something different. You might not like the laws. You might not like them, but it's in the law. And if you don't follow it, they're gonna lock your ass up. Try to tell y'all this. And that's why I told them niggas I'm taking all bets. And ain't none of them niggas bet me. Not one. Them niggas talk all this troll shit. But not one of them niggas put their bread up against me, nigga. You know why? Because them niggas know they on cap. They know they full of shit. They know they full of shit. Salute to Jermaine in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you. And shout out to Marlene Williams in the Cash App with the donation. Says thanks for the facts and the truth. Keep cooking. Salute. If y'all want to donate, the link to the Cash App is in the chat room. It's in the live chat. Going up and down in the live chat. They posting it. That in the PayPal. And shout out to KC Cotter for subscribing to the podcast show. And Michael Davis. Salute to both of y'all. I done told y'all. I done told y'all. But, you know, niggas don't want to listen to me. Nah, nigga. That nigga ticket capping, nigga. Now, the judge also says, y'all, we're on the home stretch. And weighing expert testimony, you should not just accept it just because it's allowed. The testimony of government officials are not worth of more or less weight than any of the other witnesses. Right? Y'all, I don't think y'all really understand what the judge is saying here. All they gotta do is have one instance. That nigga's gone. They don't even have to show a pattern. Didn't I tell you niggas this? And everybody said they talking about, they said, how they set them up if this is already a law? That nigga's an idiot, bro. Pure idiocy, bro. And I told everybody, the niggas ain't want to listen to me. I said, bro, all they had to do was get this nigga one time. I said this on my channel repeatedly. I said, bro, if they get you one time, and I can't make this clearer than what I'm saying to everybody. Let me take this down on the screen. I'm going to tell y'all something, right? I want to give everybody in this comment section a perfect example, once again, of what I'm talking about. You can go to church every Sunday. You can be a great citizen for 35 years. You can help all the poor people, give all of them money. You can give aid and help to the sick. You can go to the hospitals and donate money and help all these other people. You can be a good Samaritan and do everything great your whole life. If you go tomorrow and rob a bank one time, even though you did 1,000 great things, nigga, you going to prison. All it takes is once. This is the same thing with sex trafficking. All you have to do is sex traffic a person one time. Regardless of if Cassie wanted it and they say she agreed to it 10, 15, 20, 100 times. The one time she says, hey man, I don't want to do this, and you lie to her, you force her, or you coerce her, you're out of here, dog. And the Fed showed proof that he did. So all that talk about, oh man, she wanted it, this, that, and third. What about the time she said she didn't? These are the things people are trying to ignore that you can't, because it's the law. I try to tell y'all niggas this, but y'all didn't want to listen to me. Everybody on YouTube, oh, this nigga's crazy. I think Diddy's gonna get all these fake ass wannabe lawyers. Oh, this nigga, man, I'm telling you, I don't see, man, all not guilty and all. Man, y'all niggas crazy as hell and stuck on stupid and are demon worshippers. That's it. This nigga is fitting to lose everything, all his money, assets. He's fitting to be going from rich to poor in one day. That's it. And that's how it ends. That's how it ends. But y'all don't want to listen to when I tell y'all the truth. Y'all want to listen to other shit. And then this is only the beginning, because you never know if they're going to bring Diddy back on for a different trial later on, for different charges, different whole trial on a different whole case. You never know. You already know once Diddy's convicted of the RICO, they bringing in everybody else that they named in the court. They ain't name all those people for no reason. They'll probably unseal all those co-defendants and immediately arrest them. They're probably watching them right now. Shout out to Crystal Bowles and Joe Fitzel, was subscribing to the podcast show. Salute to both of y'all. I see y'all. If y'all want to subscribe to the podcast show, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. All I do is tell the truth over here, and then get mad at me for keeping it 100. I'm just telling y'all what's gonna happen, because I saw the evidence based off what the evidence showed you and what the law is. Right? What the law is. That is the law. So if you didn't read the law, you don't know what the hell you talking about, Jack. And you're gonna be sitting over here looking stupid. Point blank, period. This is not about a liquor company, not about any of that stuff. This is about Diddy being an idiot. Point blank, period. He won the game in life. But what did he do? What did this nigga do? He wanted to do stupid shit, which is what a lot of people that get rich do. When they get bored, they do dumb shit. They get into all this weirdo activity, all this homoerotic activity. These are all the things y'all see. Right? So, the judge says witnesses given immunity should be examined with greater than ordinary witnesses. Charts and summaries, demonstrative aids are not evidence and will not be available to you in the jury room. Right? Listen to what he's saying now. Right? So nobody will be getting immunity if this stuff was legal, y'all. That's all I'm saying to y'all. That's how you know it was illegal, and they know it. That's why they wanted immunity, because they knew what they were doing was illegal. And that's why I told y'all he's gonna get life. He's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. And everybody going, all these niggas, nobody on YouTube called this except for me. Everybody in the chat room, y'all all know I'm the only nigga that said this nigga is gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. I'm telling you, that nigga's gonna have 30 plus years. That is a life sentence. 30 years or more is a life sentence. Shout out to Tam Leo for subscribing to the podcast show. And y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast show, because I'm damn sure gonna give y'all a way better breakdown in the podcast show of some of these other aspects. Right? Now the judge also says that certain witnesses were permitted to be identified under pseudonyms or aliases. That should bear on an evaluation of credibility. Diddy had no responsibility to testify, and he did not. You must not attach any significance to that. The judge is being fair. He's not saying, hey, don't judge Diddy because he didn't testify. He's being fair. He's being fair. Because Diddy has a right to not testify. But everybody with a common sense know that if you tell the truth, you don't get your ass on that goddamn gonna stand. You ain't finna go down like this if you tell the truth. Because you ain't got nothing to hide. If you tell the truth never has anywhere to hide. I want y'all to think about what I'm saying to y'all. Right? Right? Y'all need to understand this. Right? Very important, ladies and gentlemen. Very important for y'all to understand this stuff. Right? So, as I told you guys, man, Listen to what I said. Now, right? Listen closely. So the judge is laying the smack down, but he's being fair. He's being fair, so there are no excuses. Shout out to Feisty Philos, for subscribing to the podcast show. Salute to you. All right. Salute to you. Kerry Johnson, salute to you for subscribing to the podcast show. I see you in the building. Right? Yeah, y'all already know what's gonna happen. They gonna rack his ass up. Everybody know this. By now, y'all should know. Yeah, it's an easy case. Oh yeah, all the cap is out of here, bro. The only reason why Diddy is fighting this case, to everybody that's in here, the only reason why he's fighting this case is because he wanted to try to protect his money. If Diddy would have took a plea deal, he would have lost everything as far as all his finances, all his money. He wasn't trying to do that. That's why he didn't take that plea deal. Because taking a plea deal means you had to admit guilt. And that means that the feds can seize all of your assets. That is the only reason why Diddy did not take a plea deal. He gambled because he did not want to lose everything. He says, well, damn, if I give everything, shit, they're going to take everything I got. Think about that. And then not only that, by the time, even if Diddy took a plea deal, by the time he was able to get out of prison, there's no way for him to get back up. His whole family would have been blackballed out the industry, which they are going to be. He would have been blackballed. He would have had no path to get back in. He would have been, man, he'd have had no resources, no nothing. Who's going to hire you after people seeing you do the shit you did? Who's going to want to work with you? You're not going to have any money. He's literally going to be at the bottom with no connections, no nothing. So that is the truth of the entire situation. Now, the judge says, right? Now, listen to what he says, y'all. This is very important. Voluntary intoxication may negate the intent requirement of RICO predicates. Uncalled witnesses. You have heard the names of people not called as witnesses. Each side had an equal opportunity to call witnesses. Do not speculate or consider this. Any notes you took are only for you. No outside reading. You are to consider only what was presented within the four walls of this courtroom. You may not communicate about this case, including on Instagram, X, or YouTube. If you see this, tell my deputy. Y'all seeing this, right? Right? Y'all see this, right? Do y'all not see this? Listen to what I said. want y'all to think about this. Right? So listen to what I said to y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. The judge says, do not be swayed by bias, including implicit bias. These hidden thoughts can impact what we hear and see and how we remember it. You will now retire to consider the case. Each of you must decide the case for him or herself after deliberating. The judge out here cooking, y'all. The judge is out here cooking, y'all. The judge is out here cooking, y'all. I want y'all to say this. The judge is cooking, ladies and gentlemen. He is cooking. All right? I'm telling y'all this. I'm telling y'all this. Right? Man, oh man, oh man. I've already talked about that yesterday, sir. You must not have watched this channel. You guys miss videos because y'all don't be looking at my channel. That's why I'm telling everybody to subscribe to the podcast show. On the podcast show, you don't miss no updates. On YouTube, they only send you certain ones. So YouTube and the podcast is different. The podcast, you get all the updates, no question about it. On YouTube, they only send you some. That's why I'm gonna start. Like I said, I had to start really just doing most of my content on the podcast again because y'all ain't even getting the updates on all of YouTube. For that brother who just came in here and said that, bro, I did a video about that yesterday. If you look on my lives on my channel, I did a video on that yesterday. But I know y'all don't get the notification. They don't. They only send you on YouTube. They do about what they call algorithm. So on YouTube, they only send you what they think you want to hear, unless you are subscribed to my channel and you click that you hit the bell that says all for updates. Like right when you hit the subscribe button, there's a bell, right? And you hit that little bell and it says all. And sometimes they still won't send you all the updates. You know what I mean? But the jury is about to go in. The judge says your verdict must be unanimous. If you're divided, do not report the specifics. Your foreperson will send out any notes. And any verdict, any communication with the court should be in writing. Oh, I love this. The way the judge set this up, man, the judge is keeping order in this situation, y'all. He is definitely keeping order. Shout out to Maria uh, for subscribing to the podcast show. Salute to you, Maria. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Maria. Right? Salute to you. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on. Let me see something. All right, so the judge says that the alternates do not have to be here, but give me your phone number. Give it to my deputy. You may be called to replace a juror. You will be called when a verdict is reached. The alternates are 234, 247, 292, 321, and 330. Those in the top row. So the judge still got alternates in case any of these people get out of line. That's why I told y'all I ain't worried about the jury. The judge still keeping the alternates in case any of these clowns get out of line. I told y'all. That's why I ain't worried about the jury. The judge gonna watch all these mofos. The judge just said in court, he still got the alternates in case shit. Just in case shit. They want to pop off, the judge still got them alternates. I told y'all. They don't want to listen to your boy. Let me repeat myself again. The judge says the alternates don't have to be here, but give your phone number to my deputy. Right? You may be called to replace the jury. You will be called when a verdict is reached. The alternates are 234, 247, 292, 321, and 330. Those in the top row. He says, do not read any news report to this trial, if there were to be any. Please accept my heartfelt gratitude for your service over the past 2 months or even more. My deputy will provide my personal contact info. I could give you a tour of the courthouse. Boy, the judge he still got the backup jurors. So I told y'all, when them niggas came to me and said, hey man, Ticket, don't worry about the jurors. I ain't worried about no jury, nigga. What you worried about the jurors for? I'm not worried about no juror. I'm not worried about no juror. Right? Right? Y'all listen to what I'm saying to y'all. So y'all listen to what I'm saying. Everybody got to listen to what I'm saying. Oh yeah. Itty bitty Diddy's in trouble. Shout out to Tracy Cruz for subscribing to the podcast. Salute to you, Tracy. Man, the judge don't lay this thing down. He don't lay the bid down, y'all. The judge don't lay the bid. And this is what I like that the judge did. He keeping those other jurors on standby, y'all. I love the judge did that. So what he did was he put these jurors on notice. I'm watching y'all. And if you got any kind of cap with you, I will take your ass off this case. I told you guys this. But this is what happens when people don't want to listen. Right? When people don't, oh, I'm worried about the jury ticket. Man, the judge all over that, man. Them people ain't stupid, man. That man know what's going on, man. He ain't no idiot. That judge ain't no idiot. I've been told y'all that. Everybody sitting over here hooting and hollering and screaming and crying and all this other stuff. Oh, man, I'm worried about the jury. I told y'all this. I don't told everybody in this building this. That nigga gonna get found guilty then on all them charges. I told y'all. And then he's gonna do 30, he's gonna get a life sentence. But all these niggas on YouTube, fake ass wannabe Lloyd, oh, I think he only can get like 5 years. All them other charges not get. Man, they finna find that rack this nigga up. They finna put that nigga in a torture rack, nigga. And when I'm right, niggas ain't gonna want to just say your ticket was right. All they gonna do is make excuses. Cause along with celebrity come about 70 shots to their frame. Right? Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Oh yeah, the jury gonna be back way before the 4th of July. If they go past the 4th of July, man, they got some real. They couldn't come to a decision. The fact that they're going up on the 4th of July, they're gonna want to come back. Now, the judge says, here is the verdict sheet. Only if you find Diddy guilty of count one, answer as to each predicate, not prove or proved. And did sex trafficking involve sex trafficking of Cassie or Jane? Count two, count three, count four, count five. Not guilty or guilty. I told y'all niggas, they got a checklist, nigga. It ain't, oh, do you think he's guilty of the RICO? Nope. That's why I told y'all they're gonna get the nigga on the RICO. They have a checklist for the RICO, Lebowski. What is the checklist for the RICO ticket? That means each of the jurors gotta go up and down this list and check whether or not they believe Diddy is guilty. So it ain't no, oh yeah, he's guilty of the RICO or not. No, that's not how it works, nigga. That's not how it works. And that's how the judge is gonna catch a rogue juror. Because if that juror checks no on every count of the RICO, ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. I try to tell these niggas. They ain't want to listen to me though. I'm gonna be the one that's right. Cause I don't come on YouTube barking unless I know I'm right. I don't come on talking this type of shit unless I know I'm right. And that's a fact. The judge says from now on, your schedule is your own. You'll be provided with meals. Now the marshal will swear you in. Now the jurors can head back to the jury room. And now the deliberation, ladies and gentlemen, has officially begun. Man, he is absolute trouble, bro. Absolute trouble, bro. Man. And all the free Diddy accounts, that shit is all going to end when the jury comes back after this verdict is over with. And it's going to turn, oh man, they doing Diddy dirty, man. They trying to do a black man dirty. Nigga, shut up, nigga. Nobody want to hear that shit, nigga. Because y'all niggas said that the justice system was going to let Diddy free. So if y'all believe in the justice system, believe in the verdict, nigga. When they whap his ass. You understand what I'm saying? And then this ain't going to be end game. It's going to be more after this. But, ladies and gentlemen, salute to all of you guys. And we will be back when a verdict comes down. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, and by the way, make sure y'all go subscribe to my podcast show because I am going on a podcast show to tell y'all what's next right now. So I will be on the podcast show. The link is right there in the chat room. It's pinned at the top. Click on the link, subscribe to the podcast. Because I'm going over to the podcast to let y'all know what is next in this situation. So y'all let me know what y'all think. The link to this podcast pinned at the top. Everybody go subscribe to the podcast. I'll be on the podcast show. Peace. All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.